everyone! So it's been a while. I've been extremely busy with finishing up finals. I moved back to my house for the summer and I did not have time to fit in a video between all that craziness. But I'm here now and I'm ready to catch back up with you guys. So today I'll be doing the A to Z book challenge, which I saw over on Haylene Jepsen's YouTube channel. And I don't remember exactly who originally created it, but I'll put the original link down below. So basically you just find a book that has A to Z authors with the last name that corresponds with the letter. And let me tell you, it was a little bit challenging, so I got a little bit creative on some of them, but bear with me as I go through them. So first A is Jane Austen, and I just grabbed Pride and Prejudice because I think this is probably the most beautiful book cover of it that I own. And as you all know, I'm a huge Jane Austen fan. The next book I have is one that I've had for a while that I don't think I've ever talked about, and it's called Fairest of Them All by Blazanin. And I'm a fan of this book because the author's from Des Moines, but also because it's about a young girl who is training to become a model, and then she gets alopecia and starts losing her hair, and it's about her struggling with that. And I thought it was a really unique book and really recommend it. In an effort to keep this fast, the ones that I'm pretty sure you all know about, I'm just going to kind of mention. So C is Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I love all of her books. She's amazing. For D, I chose Stork by Wendy Delsol, and she's another Iowa author, which makes me extremely happy, so I'm always game to promote them. It's about a girl named Katla who figures out that she is from an ancient Nordic descent of storks, people who are in charge of placing baby souls with the correct mother, which is such a unique plot, and it's so interesting, and there are 3 books in the series and they're really good, so I also recommend reading these. For E, I chose Harbinger by Sara Wilson-Etienne, and I mentioned this before in another, I think, my home bookshelf haul, so if you want a full review and synopsis, go ahead and check that out. For F, I chose Medhead by James Patterson and Hal Friedman. Yes, Friedman. And I haven't read this in forever, but it's about Hal Friedman's son Corey, who struggles with Tourette's syndrome, anxiety disorder, OCD, and so he's on all of these medications. And it retells the story of him growing up from age 5 to 17 and struggling with all of these things, and it's really interesting as well. So it's a tough read, it's kind of sad, but it's good. I like it a lot. I can't do G without my main man John Green. I chose Paper Towns because the movie's coming out soon and I'm going to reread it in the next couple weeks. For H, I chose Love Maybe by Heather Halpert, and I read this book a long time ago as well, but it's a cutesy story of a girl who works in a candy shop and sort of falls in love, and it's a really quick read and again, just really cute. To be honest, I struggled a lot with I and trying to find a book to recommend, and so I found one that I have never read. It's called A Company of Swans by Ibbotson, and I believe this is my friend Tay's from, I think she lent it to me in high school, and I forgot to give it back to her. So Tay, if you would like to reclaim your book, baby, I will gladly send it to you with my many apologies for keeping it hostage for so many years. I also had a hard time finding any J authors that I really loved, so I cheated a little bit and I'm doing Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. It works, it fits. For K, I chose Broken Skies by Theresa K, and this is set, it's post-apocalyptic and follows Jax, and she and her brother, twin brother Jace, are living in like a village civilization together, and then one day aliens touch down and appear, and so it's about her like befriending one of the aliens, like having a steamy romance with him, and I love this book too. So if you like aliens, if you like romance, you definitely need to read this one. For L, I chose Everything Leads to You by Nina Lacour. And this book not only has one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen, but it was one of the most beautiful stories I've ever read. It follows a young TV production designer. She's, I believe, still in high school. And she goes to an estate sale for one of her favorite movie stars that has recently passed away. And they find this letter about his long-lost daughter. And they go on a hunt to find her and instead find his would-be granddaughter. And she falls in love with the granddaughter. And it's, like, so good. And oh my gosh, it was so good. So this one also very good. For M, I chose Fragile Eternity by Melissa Marr, and I would have picked up Wicked Lovely, but I can't seem to find my copy, which is odd. But I'm sure you've all read these. Melissa Marr is great. For N, I also cheated a little bit and picked The Shadow Prince by Stacey O'Neill. You know, not quite, but has an N in it, a capital N. And this one follows Kieran, yes. And he is from the Fire Court, and I've talked about these before, but this is like the prequel to the Mortal Enchantment series, which is also very good. For O, I chose Delirium by Lauren Oliver, which is another one that I'm sure all of you have read. I was heartbroken when this didn't get picked up for a pilot because I did love the pilot, and I think you can still watch it on Hulu. Tell me if I'm wrong, but these are good. P is for My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. And I think this was really like the first good contemporary book that I read, and so it still holds a good place in my heart. Q is another one that's a little bit of a stretch, and I chose From a Distant Star by Karen McQuestion, and I've been really bad about reading this. It's my next on my TBR, and I've talked about it in another video, but I promise I will have a full video explaining how much I assume that I will love this. It's another one about aliens. I'm pretty pumped. For R, I chose Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, which is another book that I completely love. I'm really excited for Carry On to come out, which is Simon's story, the story within this story, which is kind of cool, kind of meta, so I'm excited to read that as well. For S, I chose Bound by Duty by Stormy Smith, and there's a bookmark in it because my mom is reading it right now, because I make all of my friends read it, anyone that I know. I have a huge obsession with these books. If you haven't read them already, it's about magic, romance, friendship, all wrapped into one beautiful package, and the second one, Bound by Spells, is even better, so this is definitely a series to watch. And she's from Iowa, which makes me so proud. For T, I chose The Intern by Gabrielle Tozer, sorry I'm saying your name incorrectly. This book is really cute. It's about a girl who gets an internship at a magazine, and I believe it's set in Australia, which is kind of cool, and the author's from Australia, so I love to follow her on Instagram, so I definitely follow you, Gabrielle. You're awesome, and this book is so cute, and I can't wait to read Faking It. It's in my to-be-read list, but I have not gotten to it yet. Okay guys, do you know how hard it is to find authors with a last name that starts with U? I could not find any, so this one is not even like a stretch, it's definitely just like a cheat. I picked Uglies by Scott Westerfeld only because it has U in the title, and I'm sure you've all read these books. Very good. For V, I also stretched and picked Divergent by Veronica Roth with the V. I'm sure you've read these as well. Also good. For W, I picked Impossible by Nancy Werlin, and I don't think many people know about this book, but it's about a girl who has to complete all of the impossible tasks in Simon and Garfunkel's song, or not Simon and Garfunkel, I mean it's an old song, but most people know their version, Scarborough Fair, and I think it's really engaging. I'm also kind of into, lately, like, books or movies or TV shows that are based off of like song lyrics and stuff. There was actually a really good one that was based off of Scarborough Fair as well that I watched. It was on the BBC. I think it was called Remember Me, and it had like Jodie Comer from My Mad Fat Diary. And it was so good and so scary. So if you need a new TV show and you're like into like horror, like scary stuff, watch Remember Me. That one was like unexpectedly really horrifying, but like really interesting all at the same time. So yeah. I might even leave a link to that because that show was so good and like no one's seen it, so I want to talk about it with someone. X I gave up. I couldn't even be creative on that one. And then Y, I chose something that had a Y in it, so I chose The Infinite Moment of Us by Lauren Miracle, and the way her last name is spelled is M-Y instead of M-I, so there we go, that's how it fits in. I got this last summer, and it's just like a quick summer fling, summer read, and also has one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen. Like, how gorgeous is that? And finally, if you've made it all the way through this video, I applaud you because I'm having a hard time even filming all of this. I underestimated how many books this was. I knew it was 26, but I really feel it now. So Z is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, which happens to be my very favorite book of all time. If you haven't read this one, please go out and read it now so we can cry about it together, and then go watch the movie because it will also make you cry. So guys, we made it. Thank you so much for watching this whole video. If you did, if you skipped around to see if you knew any of the books, I don't blame you. I promise I will be a little bit better about posting more regularly. I'm reading more books now, but I also have an internship this summer that requires a lot of reading, so you know, the reading for fun will be a little bit slower, but I will still get back to you guys. Like, I read The Air by Kira Cass, and I have lots of feelings about it, so I might just make a whole separate video for that. Lots of feelings. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.